Hello, Spanish 110 students. I have here an update for you. This is Monday, September 14th. I'm sharing my screen so you can see a snapshot from this week's calendar assignments and the items I would like to mention here. So I'm going to refrain from putting any more links in these updates because I think it forks things unnecessarily. So just go to Moodle for any of these things that you want to find. So first of all, what is due? Tomorrow, Tuesday, 11:59 p.m., you have a set of supersite exercises due. Remember, this includes what would have been due on Sunday, so it's a little bit more, so make sure that you plan ahead for that. This is important in particular because Examen Uno, our first exam, is Wednesday during our async day. It will be very much like a quiz, except longer. You will have 65 minutes to take it, but you can start anytime between 12:01 and 11:59 p.m. Before you start, you will need to agree to the academic honesty guidelines, just like you did when you typed your draft today for Escritura Uno. The format of the exam is posted in Semana Cuatro, this week's Moodle topic, so you can see exactly what each section of the exam will cover. I'd highly encourage you to read that before tomorrow's class so that in our Tuesday Zoom meeting, you can ask questions and I can answer them for everybody. Today in class, you completed your draft of Escritura Uno, or at least you should have. The instructions and slideshow are linked on Moodle. So the slideshow you saw in today's class, you can access by going to Moodle. Now, as I said in class, you should not be adding new content when you type your revisions. I just want you doing the minimum you need to fix mistakes. So if you followed my advice and you use simple sentences, simple vocabulary, simple grammar, this should be relatively easy. Nevertheless, I encourage you to consult one of the tutors that you can email to make an appointment and meet with them on Zoom sometime this week. They're very helpful. Just make sure that you share the prompt and instructions with them so they know what the objectives are and what you should be doing. Now, I'm going to look at your drafts very quickly on Moodle, and I might reach out to you for some guidance. For example, if it's too complex, I'm going to ask you to simplify it. Another thing I forgot to tell you, which will apply going forward, is on your escrituras, don't include English in your draft. If you find yourself doing that, that's a sign you're getting too complex. If you don't know how to say something, skip it. Think of another way to say it. It's not useful for you to include English in there. Grades, I'm continuously updating these, and I hope to have a complete snapshot by midweek. This is mid-block, so it's important that you know exactly where you stand in this class. So keep your eye out on Moodle for grades. Finally, a class attendance policy update. Remember that I have asked you to please turn your camera on during Zoom meetings when we're all remote, because it just makes it easier for you to stay engaged, and it's much easier for me to track whether you need help or not. That's very important when we're remote because it's much harder for me to do that than it is in a classroom. Another thing is that from now on, I'm not going to make any exceptions to the attendance policy. If you have indicated to the registrar that you will be attending class in person this semester, you need to be in class in person or you're absent. The only exception to that will be if you are placed in isolation because you've tested positive for COVID or because you've been in close contact with somebody who has tested positive. Otherwise, please don't ask. I will not make any more exceptions to this policy. So I will see you on Zoom tomorrow a las 8:30 de la mañana. Hasta luego.